guys, I'm back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my updated 5-year Kings Island prediction plan. The first year up is 2025. Kings Island just opened Snoopy's Soapbox Racers in 2024, and I think there's two ways this year could go. One is a full and complete retheme of Camp Snoopy into Planet Snoopy into Camp Snoopy, kind of like they did with the little area where Snoopy's Soapbox Racer is going to be, or a complete retheme of Action Zone. I'm going with a complete retheme of Action Zone. Now hear me out. Action Zone is the worst area of the park. I'm just gonna straight out just say that. Like, it's horrible. It doesn't fit with the rest of the park, and it's just like a jumbled mess. Like, there's some good rides in there, but it makes no sense. Well, and it doesn't match the rest of Kings Island very well. So I think you could just completely retheme the area. Don't take anything out. Just leave it the way it is with some new paint and some new changes throughout the area. My favorite idea for this, and people have brought it up in the past, is a haunted themed area. I think they should turn the Blackout building into an all-year, family-friendly haunted house. Not super scary, but not super not scary either. So it's not a children's haunted house, it's more of a family-friendly haunted house to bring it all together. With Banshee and the Bat staying the same, with Vertigo, Drop Tower, Delirium, and all the other rides getting a complete retheme, with some new paint and different names. Then in 2026, Kings Island shocks the world, announcing the world's tallest, fastest, and only looping hybrid coaster. Son of Beast's Revenge will stand at a height of 218 feet, hitting a max speed of 78 miles an hour, and having a 119-foot vertical loop in the middle of the ride. RMC makes a new launch system for this coaster just for the mid-course brake run that launches it into the loop to make sure it has enough momentum to make it through the loop, kind of like the old Son of Beast drive tires did. After this, this is one of the world's best roller coasters and really puts Kings Island on the map. It makes it clear that Cedar Fair is moving away from Cedar Point and more focusing on Kings Island, as Kings Island has been performing better than Cedar Point for the last few years and really needed something to bring the whole lineup together. This now puts Kings Island in the conversation for the world's best coaster lineup, with parks like Cedar Point, Six Flags Magic Mountain, and Hershey Park. I think this would rank Kings Island at number 2 overall, just behind Cedar Point, and the number 1 park out there. Now, in 2027, after the major addition Kings Island has made in the last 3 years, Kings Island takes a year off. They add a new restaurant and repaint a few attractions, and they retrack part of the return path of the Blue Racer. Nothing too special here, just making some simple park improvements to make it overall a more well-balanced park, and saving a little bit of money from the large investments they just put into the park. In 2028, Kings Island also takes the year off, just adding a few new things and retracking parts of the Beast that didn't get a retrack for the 2022 season, and again repainting a new ride, probably Orion or Diamondback. Probably Orion would get a repaint at this point in time. Then in 2029, Kings Island finally replaces the legendary Vortex with a mock extreme spinner. As I've said multiple times, that Kings Island's next coaster is not a mock extreme spinner, but we won't be disappointed. However, I'm not ruling this coaster out for the one after RMC Son of Beast or whatever they're getting in 2025 or 2026, as I said earlier. I'm thinking this will be a perfect addition for the Vortex plot of land, packing in about 6 inversions and being a perfect tribute to Vortex, probably using the same colors as well. This coaster would be absolutely amazing and rank Kings Island as the number 1 coaster lineup, with Orion, RMC Son of Beast, and the Mock Extreme Spinner all competing, all being elite coasters, and the RMC Son of Beast and the Mock Extreme Spinner competing to be number 1 in the world. This ride would be on the level of a ride like Ride to Happiness, and probably better than Time Traveler. Now, why would it come in 2029 and not 2026? I think that Cedar Fair will add a Mock Extreme Spinner to Canada's Wonderland, as that is basically the testing ground for all of Cedar Fair's parks. As you've noticed, they got the first Giga and many other first of their kind of attractions just to test it out. Now, I do think this could also be an Intamin Blitz going to Canada's Wonderland for Kings Island's test, but I'm not convinced that Cedar Fair will ever work with Intamin again. Then in 2030, Kings Island shocks the world by removing Invertigo. This Vekoma inverted boomerang is one of the roughest rides at Kings Island and has finally reached the end of its service life. They sent it to the scrapyard instead of shipping it off to Michigan. They would have done this soon. They would have shipped it off if they would have torn it down a few years earlier, but at this point there's no reason as the ride is nearing the end of its lifespan. This is not the only ride that will be removed in the next few years, as in 2031 Congo Falls gets removed. Nothing is known about what will replace it at this point, and you'll have to wait for my next predictions video to find out. Bye guys, see you all next time.